Welcome back to Dual Team. I'm your host, City. Joined by Jack. We're playing Aragon.
Hello.
So last time we finally got out of debt, and we can finally plan for war. And I've been looking it over, and I think that we're going to go to war with Castile. Question is, do we do it now, or do we wait a couple of years? And let me tell you why. We could go now, and if you look at our diplomat, we define Castile, Portugal, Brittany, the Papal State, and Hungary. And that's quite a bit.
Hungary want to be able to get over here, though.
Yeah, they would. But
Not really,
our allies that we'd be able to call in, we wouldn't be able to call in France.
because France is a jerk.
Well, no, because they got a truce. We'd call in Savoy and Austria. And we'd also have our personal union, Naples.
Oh yeah, Naples. Booyah. They've about increased their power by a third, I'd say.
Now, if you look at Castile and Portugal,
Holy crap, we could take all that land if we wanted to.
and Castile and Portugal is who we would be fighting directly. Because
Okay, let's
our
see.
allies would take care of the rest.
Castile has a 17,000 troop. Portugal has a 12k, and then a ship. Okay,
Ships don't matter.
yeah, we have a
See.
26k. That could take out their
Portugal's
17K.
got, Portugal's got about 18k. But they've got no manpower. Castile, on the other hand, 17k,
But
and
look
they
at
do
our
have
military
manpower.
power. Our military power is only 91.
Now, maybe
That's not
Savoy
bad.
would come over here. If they do, we've won. Or even if Naples comes over here, we've won. Because Austria's going to take care of Hungary. Now, the Pope, they're going to be fighting Naples. So, the Papal State has 10,000 soldiers. So they could beat Naples, but with our allies' help, we would be fine. Brittany's a non-entity. They have, like, nothing. They'd have, like,
France stole some of their land.
even so, they're a non-entity.
Yeah, I guess.
They would have been non-entity either way.
I suggest that if we do go to war, we need a military advisor, because our king knows nothing.
Now, if we go to war now, we are not going to have the Navy advantage. So we wouldn't be able to blockade, but that's about it. Because
It's fine.
Portugal's got 24 ships, including 4 heavies. And Castile, they don't have anything any good or anyway.
Okay,
But
I suggest then maybe before we go to war, we prepare and buff up our navy a little bit.
Yeah, or you could also wait until 1490, 2 years, and we call France in the war. And that's a guaranteed victory. There's no way we would lose that.
Yeah. But what's to stop France from taking some of the land?
Yeah, that's why what we'd have to do, we'd have to quickly siege Burgos, Lyon, and Galicia. Now, I believe, yeah, there is a fort. So we'd have to get Burgos, Lyon, and Galicia, and then immediately siege this fort.
I see.
So there's,
Well, I'd say we have 2 years of planning, got it. So,
but do we want France in our war or not? That's the question.
I say we build up our military a little bit more and
Well,
beef up our fleet.
our military's
Because-
maxed.
Oh, okay.
26
then our
or
fleet is
26.
maxed.
We can get 7 more.
7 more soldiers.
Honestly, no. Navy.
Okay, then
We would
what we have is...
But the cost...
We have zero, whatchamacallit?
But the thing is, the
zero
cost...
light ships. We have zero heavy ships.
No, we got one light ship.
And we have transport.
We'd have to build like 5, maybe 6 heavies. So it's really not worth it.
Well, if we can get the blockade bonus, that'd be nice.
Yeah, but it's not that important. Because... let's look at Castile's forts. They've got one fort that we could blockade. Granada. We can't blockade the fort in Toledo.
Because it's landlocked.
And we can't get the one in Castilla Vieja. And that's it for them. Now, Portugal. They have 2 forts we could blockade. No, 3.
So, I'd still say our navy will need to be bumped up a little bit.
But with our cannons, I think we'd be fine.
Okay, then. So...
I say blockades don't matter.
Got it. Fine, then.
So...
let's get a military advisor first.
well, let's see what's available. Morale armies is nice.
Governor Colon. Almost
Well, the only one here that matters. Because reinforced speed...
and Fabrizo Battalion.
I mean, we can't afford the top 2 anyway. But, let's just go over them real quick. Reinforced speed means after a battle...
Army
we get... well, what it means is soldiers...
wait, who are you talking about, by the way?
The top one. Reinforced speed.
Her.
It makes soldiers...
keeping our troops supplies with ammunition, food, and, most importantly, fresh cannon fodder is important work. Always be glad if you have a good quartermaster in your administration.
Well, what basically means is...
she ensures
after
the best our soldiers get.
No, not actually.
Or...
what it means is...
best supplies.
we go, take our soldiers, we go into battle.
Yes.
And then after battle, because we have that advisor, we get our soldiers back into our army 33% faster.
Oh, so that's for recruiting more soldiers.
No, not recruiting more... well, I guess. Basically, it's how fast we take soldiers from our manpower pool and put it into our army.
Yeah.
So it's basically, these soldiers are already recruited, but they're the reserves. And it's how quickly we can move the reserves into our armies.
And then we have...
land force limit,
organizer.
which is completely useless.
An army organizer is useless?
Well, let's see, we have 26, so... I would say... we would probably get about 3 more force limit from that advisor. I mean, you could have 3 more troops without paying penalty.
That's what we get from Ignacy?
Yeah, we get 10% force limit modifier. That was pretty self-explanatory.
If we let him play a little bit, we could afford him.
But, the thing is, 3 troops over the limit, yes, it costs us extra, but it costs us more to hire this guy. We're paying 5.12 a month for him.
Then we have Fabrizio Bota Adorno.
And now this guy's good.
He's an army reformer. A highly ranked military veteran continuously investigating new inventions and tactics to improve and expand our existing army.
But basically with that...
so we'd have more victory, pretty much.
Not exactly. The way they describe it's not exactly right. Just imagine...
yeah, he gives you superior tactics.
well, imagine a campaign to improve soldiers' morale. So, like in the real world. So, imagine, for example, say your soldiers... say you have 2 armies.
Yeah.
One army, the soldiers... they all have the same equipment, but one army, the soldiers have to have canned food. But the other one, they get like fresh fruit or something. They're gonna be more inclined to fight from that food alone.
Yeah.
And so that's basically what it means. So
Okay,
our soldiers
so-
fight longer without retreating.
I say we get him then.
Yeah, he's the second best.
So, purchase him?
Yeah.
I purchased him.
See, the best we could hope for is discipline. That just means our troops fight better. That's literally what it
we
means.
have our military advisor. Let's play this out a little bit. And send
Now,
to, I guess, Burgos first.
we gotta raise our maintenance.
Okay.
What we want to do,
Drop to 45.
we want to go to Cuenca.
Cuenca? Where's Cuenca?
It's the one it's going to. Because what we want to do,
Oh, we
Is-
want to prepare.
well, we want to attack Castile before Portugal gets here. That's what we want to do.
So, we want to take them down before they get reinforced.
Yeah, or at least take down a lot of them. And then we have to start sieging. Do we got a general? Let's see.
No, we don't, I don't think. How do
No.
we get a general, by the way?
Okay. So, there's two ways to do it. You either click a no leader army, click recruit a general, or a better way to do it
Okay,
is click the military tab up at the top,
military, yeah.
and then click
Some of the-
here
Uh,
where it says recruit a general.
recruit a general. Do you want me to?
And remember, it costs us 50 military points.
How many military?
We have 91, yeah. So
So-
you don't want to overdo it on generals.
So do you want to get a general?
But you do want one.
Alright. I got a general.
Okay. Oh my gosh. That's a good general. For a 9.1 army tradition?
What does he do?
Well, hold on. First, with army tradition, that affects, like, generals.
Hang on, how do you know, where are you getting this from?
Well, it's over here, it says army tradition.
Army, it's at 9.1. Okay,
But
that's
basically, it doesn't say here, but the better army tradition you have, better general you get. But the way it goes in is increments of 20. So basically, a 0 tradition general is exactly the same as a 19 tradition general. But then a 20 tradition general is better. So there's general at 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100.
And we have a general what?
We have a 0 tradition general. So,
Oh.
which means their average least amount of strength. But we got lucky. Now, there's 4 different symbols here. The 2 most important are shock and fire. Basically, when you're in
Shock.
combat,
It's
you have 2 different
2
phases.
star, and then fire is 3 star.
But there's 2 different
phases.
phases.
Which, I guess that
There's-
matters to the land.
In battle, there's 2 different phases.
He's got nothing in C.
There's the shock phase and fire phase. Basically, all that really matters is during each phase, there's a dice roll. And
Yeah.
this number here improves your dice roll.
What number?
The number of dots for fire and shock. So during every fire phase, we get 3 additional to our dice roll.
Oh. So if he rolls a 6, it becomes a 9. Rolls a 9, it becomes a 12.
Yeah, but you also got to subtract the enemy's dice roll. Or not dice roll, the enemy's general.
Uh-huh.
And so shock we get 2.
Let's see. Castile's general. How do I
Now,
check what their general does?
Unfortunately for us,
Can I check their general?
well, hold on. Unfortunately for us, right now, fire is far more valuable than shock. Or not shock. Shock is more valuable than fire. And that's the way it is early game until you get to mid game. Then they're equal. Before fire becomes dominant late game.
Because the technology catches up.
Yeah, because guns are getting better.
So, how do we check out Oh, do I have to go military here?
Well, you just hover over Castile's army. They have a 2-1. Which means our general's better.
Oh, yes.
We get +1 in each.
Our general is a...
Basically, we get +1 each phase when we fight in Castile with that general. But you gotta think. We gotta look at our next symbol.